Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. My name's Shane. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And today we're going to be making some sheet metal over fenders for my junky drift car. Alright, so these are my old ones. These are made of sheet metal. These are the first ones I made, and they have been through a few seasons and they're a bit beat up, so I'm just going to make some fresh ones. A V2 version. Because I got a new template for the flare, which is what I use for my front flares, but these are actually going to work for the rears as well. This is my old template for the body side of it, and then this will get welded on somewhat like that. But as you can see, this is all rippled and crappy, and so the over fender will be covering all of this part, and it's going to stay below this body line, and so that is why I've kind of done more body work here when I graft this new rear end on. I got a fresh sheet of sheet metal and my templates, so I'm going to get going on mocking these up and get to cutting the metal out. Alright, so this is kind of the situation right now. I don't really have good tape, so it's not working that great, but that's alright. So this is kind of how the first half sits. It's going to be riveted on to the car so it can be removed, and then these will both be cut out of sheet metal. And this will be welded to here, not the car, so that it can all be removed as one panel, kind of like my old ones. But you get the idea. Obviously it doesn't look good right now, but I'm going to cut these out separately, and then we'll mount this to the car, and then we'll go ahead and kind of fit this to the car. I do have an English wheel, luckily, so I can give it some contour, but you don't have to use one. You can just tack it and kind of shape it into place. So let's go ahead and trace these onto the metal and get to cutting. Well, we now have our rough cut pieces of sheet metal. The edges are a bit obviously sharp right now, so all I have to do is clean up the edges, and then we can go ahead and mount this part on the car, and then make that fit next. So now that we got our new panel mounted and we got our flare, we kind of put it up there and see how it fits, and it actually fits pretty good. But I do want to make it a little concave just to make it a little easier to mount. So luckily I have access to an English wheel. So we're going to take this, the English wheel, and just kind of run it through it a few times and see how we can, if we can put some curve into this bad boy. And then hopefully we can get it all tacked up and looking good. As you can see, the English wheel is super nice to have because it allows you to put this little bit of a fender-like curve into it. So I'm going to start with this and see how it worked out. Well, I'm actually pretty happy with that for now. I'm going to go ahead and actually mount that so that it simulates where it's actually going to be, because that's going to stay about there flush with the car. This part, this corner right here, may be spaced out a bit from the car instead of flat because the car is a little bent in there, but we'll figure it out. So down here I mounted one rivet here, kind of found a good spot where I wanted it to sit, and then I just now I can go ahead and I want this to kind of go as one body line kind of deal. The old one I had actually went past this part and it mounted to the bumper, and I don't want that anymore. I kind of want to have a quick release type of deal for the bumper this time, so I'm going to be kind of tacking that in place so that it's just kind of like a little bit of an angle cut off there, and then the flare can come out a little bit, and yeah, it should look something like that. And then once I tack that and I find everything that I want is in a good position, then I can go ahead and I'm just going to do a few tacks on this. I'm not going to worry about making it perfect or smooth or anything. I'll probably just run some sealant along it or something like that. But yeah, so that's kind of roughly how it should pan out. And then I'll have to do a little bit of trimming to make this go properly with the door line. Just kind of grinding it, and then that's pretty much it. And there we have it. That's all really there is to it. So basically over here, this is my very first drift car. When I first cut this up, I got a little too close to the seam, so there really isn't much meat to do anything here. So that's why I had to mount it pretty low down there. And then this doesn't line up perfect, but I ended up kind of banging this edge over so it kind of goes with the car and then flows up with the car. I mean, I'm thinking this looks pretty good for what it is and the purpose it's going to serve. So I mean, this isn't a show car, this is a drift car. It gets driven really hard at the track, and if I end up bashing these, then that's not the end of the world. It's better than blowing up some $800 over fenders, because these in reality cost me about 40 bucks to make, and you can't really beat that price. So I wouldn't recommend doing this on a show car unless you can spend a little more time and make it a little more, make it look better. But for now, this looks pretty good to me. Let me know what you guys think of my over fenders that I made. So the other side, the only difference with the other side is going to be, obviously, it just has a hole cut out for the gas door, so that's really the only difference. So there's my old one. It's seen a few seasons. It got really bent up. I wasn't super happy with the shape of the flare, so I changed that to the new shape, so it kind of cuts off where the bumper will mount here, and it won't be part of this like I had it here. So that's part of the reason why that got bent. So we got a fresh new panel here. Now I just have to do the other side. I'm not gonna go ahead and videotape that because it's the exact same thing. So I'll show you the other side once I'm done. Looks like that's going to be all for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, go and leave them in the comments below. Make sure to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel for more drift videos and drift build videos. Alright, we'll catch you later.